I'm so sorry. I'm just having a really tough time with this one. um, I wrote notes on this video, but I just feel like there's nothing that I could say that would make any sort of difference in what's happening. Um, um, it's been a long time since I've remote viewed what's happening in this world related to trafficking. And I was really, really, really disappointed to see that these crimes against humanity are continuing. And for me to see what's happening and feel like I can't do anything about it, it really breaks my heart. And there's a feeling in me like I just feel like I'm not doing enough for these children. And they're children. And they're trapped. And I'm sorry. It just feels like the world's forgotten about them. And I feel guilty for living my life and not doing something more. I'm so sorry. I don't even know what to say. I don't, because I just feel like it's just so overwhelming. This issue is so overwhelming. I'm gonna try and get through some notes. There's a lot of stuff happening right now with like celebrities and musicians being called out. Of course, recently we have the P. Diddy situation, but it's so important to realize that it's not even close to what's happening in the world. That sex trafficking, especially of minors, has been a generational issue. We're not talking about just human trafficking. We are talking about something so much greater that has affected so many of us in lifetime after lifetime. And specifically people with higher vibrations are targeted, it's like there are many levels of trafficking. There's like, human trafficking that happens. Like, we've seen the movies like Taken, right? It's like, oh, you want to be a model, and then you get into the industry, and all of a sudden you're kidnapped and you're put into that trade. And then there's like abuse, right? Situations where we see in the sort of celebrities and the higher ups. But none of those even come close to the horrific agenda of the ones who are in charge. And truly, we are talking about the reptilians. I mean, there's no other way to say it, but these beings are, they're enslaving, I mean, truly millions of individuals. And these people, and really their children, they are born into this. They are trapped their entire lives. It's really hard to not feel anything when you see what's going on. And the fact that it's still happening. And the fact that it seems like no one is there for them. And these children, they remain children because they just don't live long enough. They really don't. And even the teenagers, the 13, 14, 15-year-olds, they look like they're 7, 8, 9. They're so malnourished and underdeveloped. Oh my goodness, okay. So, why do the elite do this? Why do they do this? What's their reasoning? What's the point of these crimes? I mean, we can talk about, conspiracies and agendas and Taylor Swift, but none of that even comes close to the main agenda that's taking place, which is trafficking. And there are multiple reasons for it. One is it keeps the vibration of the planet really low. The individuals who are being tortured and starved and trapped and hidden and abused are in such a state, such a low vibrational state, that they are plummeting the vibration of the rest of the planet for good reason. And then there's also rituals. There's blood and sex rituals that truly do take place. And they have been taking place probably since the reptilians took over, which has been many, many thousands of years. And they have just gotten better at hiding these poor souls. And I think that so many of us who have experienced sexual trauma in this lifetime have been a part of that agenda in many other lifetimes. And it is so pivotal and important for us to heal that trauma that we have endured. And of course, another reason why they do this is to damage us, to keep us trapped in this karmic loop and this karmic cycle, so that trauma carries on lifetime after lifetime, so that we forget who we are. And in order to move on, we accept the terms and conditions of this matrix in our next life. It's almost like a planetary trauma bonding. It's like we've experienced so much trauma on this planet because of this trafficking, because of these crimes, that we are bound to it. We have to come back in order to heal it. And just to see so many that are still stuck and trapped. It just truly breaks my heart. And I feel hopeless, or not hopeless, but helpless. Like I really want to help, but I don't know how. Um, what I saw with, Justin Bieber and P. Diddy and all of this stuff that's coming to light, and even Epstein and Weinstein. I mean, once again, it's the tip of the iceberg. They are creating these fall people. Oh, it was him. So that we blame a person rather than the system. It's controlling the narrative, as they've done time after time again. They're trying to control the narrative. And then we have things like, yeah, maybe your child has never experienced abuse like that. Thank goodness. But if they have access to the internet, they are still inherently experiencing abuse by observing it through things like porn, which is another part of the agenda. And it really comes down to our base root chakra. If our root chakra is damaged, then our connection to ourselves, our connection to the planet, and our connection to source are also inherently damaged. We have an entire generation of damaged individuals, not just because what they experienced firsthand or what they experienced from past lifetimes, but what they've observed online. There's a whole industry that caters to this sexual trauma bonding. And part of me feels like it's such a big issue, and no one seems to be talking about it. No one seems to be doing anything about it. And even organizations that I really felt like I trusted to help with trafficking, to help with freedom, turns out they're corrupt too. They're a part of it. Not to say that everyone's a part of it. There are good people who are trying to help, but it just feels like such an undertaking. And it feels like it's so ingrained and so normalized, and it's so accepted that it's like we're so deep into the illusion of this trauma. It just feels like it's going to take a lot to get us out of it. So I had to ask the Galactic Federation and some of my spirit guides, because I was so distraught at seeing, and I won't even begin to describe what I saw in these places. But I had to ask, why hasn't it been stopped? Like, why is this not something that they're stepping in and navigating, helping? And they said that it was part of our contracts at a planetary level, which they tell me every single time. And my human does not want to accept that, But I also understand that trafficking and these crimes against children and innocent souls, it is some of the darkest, most disturbing experience that I think a soul can have. Not only does it take our innocence away, Not only does it disrupt our own connection to self, the planet, our root chakra, our sexuality and sexual expression and freedom, and therefore connection to source, but it keeps us in that karma loop. And part of that experience, that darkness, is meant to allow us to climb into the light, into really high vibrations. It's like we have to experience the dark. We have to break down before we break through. And this reality is all about that. It's all about polarity. And if we're able to heal our base root chakra, if we're able to heal sexual traumas, and reconnect to the light, despite all of that, then, what a journey we've been on as a soul. And a big part of these crimes are contracted for the planet, for us to experience. And I get it intellectually. I cannot accept it emotionally. Especially the fact that it's still going on. And it just feels like hope or solutions are so far away. And so I did ask about that. I asked about solutions, like, what can we do? What can we do? And in the next year or two, I'll be starting a foundation. And I have many things that I feel passionate about, like really truly helping humanity. But this takes precedent. This is the number one thing that I would love to be able to physically step into and assist in whatever way that looks like. And there is hope. I'm just reading my notes. So there is a huge shift in the energy. There's a huge shift in the elites and their plans and their agendas and who's in control. There's a huge shift happening. And a lot of them are leaving. A lot of these huge, you look at the top 7 richest families, right? A lot of them are dying. A lot of them are leaving their CEO positions. A lot of them are taking that exit, whether that be leaving the company or passing on or just stepping out of the light, like stepping out of the limelight. So there's a shift that's taking place. And what I channeled is that the truth is going to come to light. It's going to take about 4 to 5 years, but we're talking like real disclosure on this. We're talking about like true whistleblowers that are able to come together and feel safe enough to speak up. I channeled like 4 to 5 years, big whistleblower. So there's going to be a lot of public awareness around this. And no, I'm not just talking about within the celebrity realm, which once again, it just feels so small compared to how massive this issue is. And with the public awareness, there's going to be individuals that step in who have the means to stop them, right? So people who have money, lots of money, but also a really good heart, who care about this issue, who are going to be able to step in and help stop this system, this trauma system. It's so deeply embedded. Like, we have no idea how globally widespread this is. It has to be a global collective movement. It has to be. Back in 2020, myself and hundreds of individuals, we got together. We met on Hollywood Boulevard, and we all had signs, and we basically, protested. And one of the things, and I didn't even start this, but one of the things that we were yelling at the top of our lungs was "No more adrenochrome," which blew my mind because I didn't even realize that people knew what that was up until that point. And so something like that, but we need really brave people to A, escape this trafficking, and B, feel safe and protected enough to speak up against what was happening to them and what is happening to so many others all around the world. But apparently that's coming. 4 to 5 years. That's what I saw. Okay. Yeah, I also saw a mass exit of reptilians in power, like I was talking about. The ones who are refusing to leave are doubling down, is what I saw, doubling down. So basically, they're saying, I'm not leaving and I'm going to, I'm going to even like go harder on the agendas and things. So, what can we do to help? Two things. One is just send love to them, send light and love to them. Just know that that will help, you know. Unfortunately, we just don't have enough resources to get them all out right now. It seems like there is an operation. It seemed like a white hat operation, if you want to call it that. I don't really like that name, but I don't have another name. Like an organization of individuals who do have resources, who are helping them escape. And that seemed like that really started in 2020, which is really beautiful. So that's continuing, but there's not enough of them. There's not enough awareness. So keep these poor children in your heart and just send them love and light and healing, and it will reach them. And then the other thing that we can do is heal our own traumas. If you feel like you are comfortable and safe when it comes down to sex and even orgasm and connecting to source frequency in a pure and divine and authentic way, then congratulations. Like, you don't have any base root chakra blocks or sacral blocks. But if you feel like you're stuck within that, then most likely there is something that's there. That's maybe it's a past lifetime, maybe it's a childhood thing. But heal yourself. Heal your own base root chakra connection. Heal your own sacral chakra connection, and allow yourself to get to a place where you can connect to source through sex, through orgasm, in a pure, authentic, grounded, heart-centered way. And when we do that, as I learned through ancient Egypt, we can actually reverse aging. I've talked about this before. One of the ways that we can live a very long time is through orgasm. I know it sounds crazy, but it's through connecting to pure source energy. And then what we can do is we can ankh that energy. We can cycle it around in our body. And by doing that, we regenerate our cells. And so if that's possible, if connecting to source through orgasm, through sex, but in a pure way is possible, extending our life through that is possible, then maybe now you see why this is such an agenda, why they continue to harm us, why they continue to distort us with sex and sexuality, to prevent us from making those connections. And it's just been going on for such a long time. I mean, that's part of the reason, and there are many. But please heal yourself, because when we do that as fractals of the collective, as parts of the whole, then we heal everyone else around us. Or at least we step into the courage and the vulnerability that's needed to heal those aspects. And hopefully through that we can inspire others to also step into courage and vulnerability to heal those aspects. So ask yourself, are you completely free within your own base root and sacral chakra? Or is there work to do? And knowing that you are a part of this channel and community, I'm sure that there was some sort of trauma because starseeds have been targeted. Our light has been targeted in this way. But like I said, if you feel completely free and open and blissful, fantastic. Own that. Amplify it for everyone else who really needs a part of that. Okay? I'm sorry for just being so emotional. It's a really, 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 really hard thing to witness and feel really helpless within the witnessing. So I am going to be sending my love to all of those individuals who are still trapped. And I'm hoping that one day, soon, I will have the courage and the resources and the resilience to step into that world and really, truly shine a light and make an impact, a difference, not just through knowledge, but through action. But I also understand how big of an undertaking it is, and I know it's going to take me some time to get there, you know, and I know that with your help we can do it together. All right, this video might be taken down, so just fair warning, check it out on my website if it is. So thank you all so much, and yeah, sorry again for all the tears, but it's heavy. I'm gonna go sage myself now. Sending you all lots of love. Bye for now.